So I want to record a follow-up to my friend zone Speakdom that I did recently, and I want to talk about attractive qualities in males, okay? A lot of this is going to be stuff that I've picked up on throughout the years, both by reading good subject matter, and when I say good subject matter, I don't mean like charlatan books, right? I'm talking about actual science stuff, and in my own experience out in the field, okay? So we're going to talk about attractive qualities, all right, in males, okay? Because one thing that we have to clarify here, and we're talking about specifically heterosexual relationships, I don't have too much experience in homosexual or transsexual or bisexual relationships whatsoever because I'm not one of those people. I have friends who are, and maybe I'll consult with them. But one thing I will tell you is there are commonalities across the board here, okay? In other words, if you're listening to this and you're bi, gay, or trans, some of this stuff will resonate with you, some of it will not, because everybody's different. We're talking about just in general attractive qualities that I have learned that heterosexual or even bisexual women have either told me themselves, told me about me, or have been successful for me out in the field in the past throughout my life. Because I'll tell you this about me, okay? So I grew up a fat kid. I was very overweight and I didn't speak English. I also had bad teeth. I did not get confident and I got bullied. And because of all these things, I did not become really self-confident until my early 20s. I was really bad with girls until then. It was like 21, 22 when I started to get the real confidence, little by little, little by little, little by little. Because you're not going to get that overnight. That's my story. And some of you guys are probably the same. Some of you guys are probably 25, 26. Not trying to be a dick here, but you've probably never been laid. And there's nothing wrong with that. Trust me, I'm on your side here. So we're going to talk about that. Okay. So in general, all right, when it comes to attraction, looks are not that important. I've talked about this many, many times. It's more about how you carry yourself. You might look at yourself in the mirror. You might be short. You might be fat. You might be whatever. You might, whatever. You might have something wrong with you physically. It's not that important to women as it is to men. And this has all been scientifically proven. Okay? All been scientifically proven. I studied the work of a psychologist named David M. Buss, who traveled around the world and studied various cultures and studied human mating, human evolution, compared to animals and different cultures. And there's some really fascinating stuff. Now, a lot of y'all are going to think that's boring because you just want to know how to get a girlfriend, right? And that's fine. I am fascinated by this. I love this kind of stuff, dude. I love talking about this. So, attractive qualities. In women, we tend to like certain physical features on a girl. That's just, we like, healthy hair, pretty eyes, big boobs, big butts, nice thick legs. Most guys tend to like some or all of those things, right? With women, there are obviously some physical traits that they find attractive in men, usually broad shoulders, sometimes guys who are relatively built. However, there have been studies that have proven recently in the past decade or so that women are actually, a lot of them are actually more attracted to men who are not super jacked. They actually like guys that have pop bellies because it reminds them of their dad. This has all been scientifically proven. I'm not even screwing with you on this one. That's why you see so many heavy guys getting these pretty girls, bro. And I don't mean like, when I say heavy, I don't mean like, 500 pounds on disability. I mean like, like chubby guys who maybe have some good arms, you could probably pull, but it's not even about that. It's about how you carry yourself. Because even if you're a chubby guy or a short guy or an ugly guy, if you carry yourself like you're not, you will win. Confidence is very important. And it is. And when I say confidence, it's more so confident in who you are. It's not walking around acting like a cocky douchebag and making fun of other people, because you're gonna pull some bad women being that way. That's not what you want. You want to be confident in yourself and confident in what you bring to the world. That's the number one most important thing. And I'm telling you now, if you look it up, you're going to find that's the commonality is confidence. And actually, I'm pretty sure it's the same way with a lot of bisexual and transsexual couples. Like, confidence is a turnoff for a lot of us as human beings, because some of us compensate for our lack of self-love with our confidence, or vice versa. Or some of us, look at confident people and admire them. They're admirable people, and just confident and not necessarily successful, but if you have the drive to be successful and you have that eye of the tiger, and you're willing to put that out into the world and still treat people good, like that's super sexy, bro. Like girls like that. Sense of humor, that's what's been my number one thing. And I don't even have this written down. This is all off the dome right now. With me, I'm really good at making people laugh. I've actually had people tell me that I've seen comments from people who have watched like 2 of my videos on Geekdom 101, like, oh, he's boring. Not a single person who's ever met me in person thinks I'm boring or even talk to me, because I can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk for hours. If you don't believe me, ask anybody who's talked to me. Rhyme Style has numerous times said on Twitter, every time I talk to Geekdom, it's hours and hours. Same thing with Seth the Programmer, right? Hours we talk, bro, because I'm a good talker. That's why I do these speakdoms. I know this for a fact because I grew up on watching pro wrestling, hip-hop music, and cool 80s movies. I learned how to be a good talker. I got the gift of gab, and it helps if you are a good talker. But what's important, even more important than being a good talker, is being a good listener. I remember reading the book, I think it was years ago, about Carmen Hayes when she slept with Jay-Z, and the one thing she talked about with Jay-Z, and Jay-Z looks like Joe Camel, bro, with them big ass lips. You know, he's not the most handsome guy on earth. He's got money, but what she talked about was how good of a listener he was, how he would listen and absorb. And that's the important thing. Like when a woman comes home from work and she's complaining to you about her job, listen. You don't have to give her feedback. Just listen. They love that kind of stuff. Like, they love when you listen to them. Like, if a chick tells you something like, oh, you know, my little brother, when I was younger, you know, I went to this restaurant and I haven't been there in 20 years. And then one day on her birthday, you take her to that restaurant. Dude, that's, like, you're going to get it so good that night, bro. You're going to wake up sweating, bro, how good you had. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, they like that kind of stuff. You know, being a sweet and thoughtful guy when you're in the relationship is important, you know, and every woman is different. So you have to kind of figure them out and figure out what they like. I've been with a lot of girls that love flowers. They love flowers. Recently, there's women who don't like flowers. No, I don't really like that. So you got to be more creative. See what I'm saying? You got to be more, okay, well, what do they like? You know, because flowers and candy, yeah, it's simple, but it's also very, like, old school. Like, you got to get more creative than that. You see what I'm saying? And nowadays with the internet, we can be. So, you know, that's one thing. But that's more so for dating. We're talking about just attraction here. Confidence and sense of humor, I think, are important. You can't really take yourself too seriously because nobody likes to stick in the mud. Intellect is important, too, I feel. And when I say intellect, I'm not talking about, like, being a genius here. But I'm talking about not being an idiot. You know what I mean? Like, having a sense of who you are, having a sense of the world and what the world is, I think is important. And also, another important thing is to kind of understand that everybody's different. And your sense of humor, which I mentioned earlier, is not going to click with all women. Some women don't like dirty jokes. Some women don't like political jokes. Some don't like yo mama jokes. You see, so whatever jokes you have or whatever sense of humor you have, timing, whatever, remember, might not always work, but it's also about compatibility. If she's not compatible with you, she's not compatible with you, point blank. And a lot of couples start out thinking they're compatible, and then you find out that you're really not. And obviously, compatibility is not like having differences, because everybody has difference of opinion, but more so like real compatibility. Like, can you really live with this person and be with this person for a long time? Maybe she's too clean for you, or you're too dirty. I mean, everybody's different, you know what I mean? And that's something you have to figure out as the time goes by. But in general, kind of being a warm person, you know, and a comforting person, you know, being, you know, letting women be comfortable around you. Could you end up being in the, quote, friend zone where you become their talkback diary? Sure. But if you're confident, that shouldn't matter to you. Because if you're confident, you know if girl A is not going to work out, you got girl B, C, and D, who might even be her friends, who you might build something with. You know, you got to think about those things. And I know it's hard. I know some of y'all probably dealing with heartbreak right now, or, you know, some of y'all are probably like, man, that's never going to be me. No, it can be you, bro. It might take some time, but it can be. You know, it's just, you got to get your brain in that spot, you know, and it takes training. So also grooming is important as well, I feel. If you're going out, it doesn't matter how you look, more so like how you carry yourself. Like if you're a quote ugly guy, which I don't think there is such thing as somebody being really ugly, except maybe Prince Vegeta. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking around. I always mess with JB. But no, I'm joking. But if you're quote like, if you don't think you're that handsome or whatever, which is all in your head, by the way, dress nice. And I don't mean like overdress, like wear some nice clothes and smell good. Get some good cologne, take showers, obviously. You got to do these things. That's important. But to me, confidence, sense of humor, I think totally have almost always worked. And also the important thing, and this is the most important one, do not be a clingy creep. The one thing that everyone I have ever talked to, and I'm even including the bisexual friends of mine, the trans friends of mine, is they don't like creepy people. When you're always on a girl, just constantly texting her, constantly up in her shit. They don't like that. I have had so many girls. I want to name them, but I'm not going to because it's private. And some of you don't even know. Some of you do know. Some are actually YouTubers. Tell me like, oh man, this guy was so cute. He was nice, but he just wouldn't leave me alone. Always DMing me every day. Always, emailing or texting every day over and over and over. And I got tired of it. You cannot do that. No, I don't know a single woman on earth. And I'm not saying they don't exist. But I don't know a single woman who's into clingy, creepy guys. Don't be clingy. Don't be a creep. Don't focus on sex only. Even though you might want sex and she might want sex, you both might want it. Don't let that be the only focus of the conversation, unless she's a prostitute, in which case if you're paying, who cares? But, just kind of let everything flow. You got to be like a free spirit sometimes and kind of let the world come to you. So I hope that helped. I really do. Again, when it comes to sense of humor, I think everybody has the ability to be funny, but not everybody's a funny guy. And if you're not, that's okay. There's girls out there who are more into the serious guys. Don't overthink that. But just, work on yourself. Now, another big attractive quality too I want to throw at you is having motivation and drive and a work ethic to succeed, career-oriented work ethic. Women, and this has been proven through science, there's something called the parental investment theory. Women instinctually are attracted to males that have their shit together. You got a job, you got a career. You don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to be even $100,000 a year guy. But you have, you got your income coming in. You're self-sufficient. You're not living with mom and dad. And even if you are, that's okay. But if you got goals and dreams you want to achieve, and if you're focused on that, that's extremely attractive to women because of the parental investment theory. It's legit, dude. It's legit. So women love that kind of stuff. Like you having your stuff together, like, you got a job, and you're happy at your job, or you're not happy, even if you're unhappy and you want to get out, like they like that kind of stuff. They like that. Being goal-oriented. Ambition. These are attractive qualities. I hope this helps. I'm going to make more of these in the future. I thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, leave them down below, and I'll probably do a follow-up. Thanks again. I'll talk to you soon.